Tuesday night, that means, you know what that means? It means it's Tuesday and it's night. And it means it's Tuesday Night Live. I'm coming up with all sorts of shit. Tuesday Night Live right here on your channel for masks talking about wrestling and other stuff. The Mask Community and XCast. Hello, everyone that's watching. We're happy to see you here if you're watching tonight. Thank you. We're on 4 platforms as always: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. And if you want to say hello to us, let us know where you're watching. We're always happy to do that. And
make sure you're following or subscribing or whatever it is on those platforms. Follow us.
Yeah, it's always nice to when people do that. It's even better when I remember to mention it. Well, we had somebody on there for 2 seconds and then they ditched. Cool. We are going to do a contest.
I saw this. This is new. I mean, I saw it in the post. But.
Yep. And so the contest is, I know we've got about 5 regular watchers, listeners, whatever. What we're going to do is we are going to see who our official 6 listeners going to be. That way we'll have 6 listeners and we'll all be a little happy family. But the number 6 listener is going to get, I've got a Mask Comedian XCast hat around somewhere. So we're going to give him a hat.
Nice.
And I don't know, probably it's a $25 Amazon gift card.
Nice.
That's pretty good for me. Don't you think?
I'd rather, you can just give it to me.
No, because you have to listen. You're required to.
I'm obligated to be here.
But our number 6 listener is
I'm not.
No, that was clever. You're so smart. $25 Amazon.
What? Oh, sorry.
Here, let's try this a minute. There we go. That's better. Our yeah, that's even better. Do that too, for God's sakes. Here,
it's like a strobe light. Oh.
Yeah, you don't win anything. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to figure it out, and we'll just take it by random. People that have made a comment, at least said hello to us, and then so that we can contact you. And go find us on Facebook or YouTube and make a comment on either of those. I know it's easier to make comments there than it is on Twitter or Twitch. And we'll just randomly choose someone, and we'll have them come on the air with us, and then I'll boot them off after I give them the money. Here's your code. Hope you can use it before my mother does.
Pay him to leave.
Because my mom is painfully quick at doing that stuff. Anyway, had a great week in Boston.
Mass.
My gosh, that was so fun. I'm going back next week. Yeah, different hotels. So I don't know. See, this is going to be the problem with doing it on the road. I'm not going to know what the Wi-Fi is from hotel to hotel.
Well, when do you find out what your hotel is, though?
I just found out today.
Oh, dude, you can just Google that hotel. You'll know what their Wi-Fi situation is. They put it on all their websites. That's a huge thing nowadays.
Well, I mean, I know they have it. I mean, it's not like we're staying in dumps. We're staying in like places that people with jobs have.
Each floor. I stay at those hotels where each floor has a nice machine.
That's right. That's right. I got to tell you, man, the place. I wish I could have picked it up. Honestly, I'm not lying. Place I stayed at last week, better than where I live.
Oh man, isn't it great when that happens? I mean,
I don't want to leave.
Right? I mean, people know that you're doing this. I had a history for like a couple of years where I was on the road doing work too, doing MC DJ work for a race company, and man, I'll tell you what, there was a few times that I got put in some places where I was like, I'm allowed here.
Yeah, exactly.
I figured if I walk in this building, they're gonna flag me right away. Like he's gonna break something, or he's gonna don't let him in.
Yeah, it's like when I come in, I'm always really going to say, "Oh, you here to fix the toilets?"
Right.
You're like, "No, I'm checking in." But it's just, I always also think it's funny when I get to some place like that, and I'm like, "Oh my God, this is so nice," and then some of the other people I'm working with are like, "Oh, the bed is stiff, the chairs is good." I'm like, "Well, are you kidding me? Where the hell do you live? What are you doing for life? I mean, this is God, so good." Anyway,
I mean, but I get it too, because I've also, while being on the road, have stayed at some really big dumps.
Oh,
like to
dude.
the point that it's like, man, I'd rather sleep in the rental car tonight.
Man, I had a comedy show that, and they're supposed to always get your room, right? I did a show in a town where we had a hotel. No, it wasn't a hotel. Motel. It wasn't really a motel. We had to walk across the street, check in at the Cenex gas station.
Nice.
Yep.
Yes.
And the Wi-Fi in this motel, well, to give you an idea, the router with the antennas was in my room.
Yes.
I could not get a Wi-Fi signal.
Oh, that is so great.
The guy down the hall that I was working with, he got a Wi-Fi signal.
Nice.
I couldn't get a Wi-Fi, and I'm in the room with the damn router.
So that's a really good one. But so my other question, I guess, for you then, and this is, I'm sorry that we haven't gotten into the wrestling yet, guys.
That's
but
okay.
we'll get to it.
We will sooner or later.
But being also that you are a touring comedian, I want to know if you have any stories about those famous comedian apartments that you always hear about.
Oh, the comedy condo.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what,
condos.
There are. I've only stayed in one. There are fewer and fewer because it's harder and harder for the comedy clubs to keep them. And to be honest, the comedy clubs are not as prevalent as they once were. A lot of the clubs have closed.
That, and on top of that, who's signing that lease nowadays for a rental company? You want a different comic in here every weekend? No.
That's just it. But you know, the stories are that the beds don't get made. There's junk all left in them. I've never had that situation, although they've never been like, you know, it wouldn't be a place that I would say, oh, I'd like to live here.
Oh yeah, I've had that too. Where I'll go on like TripAdvisor, read about a hotel that I'm going to be going to, and like you'll see those bad reviews, and it's like, oh, what's up, Johnny? You'll see those bad reviews, and it's like, oh man, why did I book at this place? This is gonna suck. And then you get there, and it's like, I mean, this isn't bad. I mean, I stayed
at a place up in the Upper Peninsula, Michigan, where the you check in on one side of the road, and you might have a room on the south side of the highway, but you also might have a room on the north side of the highway, all decorated like it was 1956.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. Wonderful.
Anyway.
Wonderful.
But we digress. So, as always, now today it was nice because I didn't do any extra work anywhere else. I did work at the airport.
Nice.
So I had most of the day to try to catch up on my wrestling. And I did get to watch the entire Raw last night, which I thought was pretty good. You know, there were some things that really stood out to me. And as we get to that, I'll get to it. I don't know how you want to do this week. Do you want to start with Raw and then work back to AEW, or do you want to start with AEW and go back?
Well, that works. Let's go with Raw.
All right.
It's fresh. It's fresh. I don't remember how it started. That's how fresh
you don't remember how it started? Here's how it started. Randy Orton had a package and then came out, and then, and he's doing, this is great. I mean, honestly, this is going to be so good. And in Winnipeg, who came out to challenge him but KO?
Yeah, made him look real good.
Oh my God, did it
real good.
Made him look great. And so in what I've heard is that WWE is started to allow less scripted promos.
I mean, you would hope so. I mean, that's one thing I think AEW's got down pretty well right now, is that they are letting a lot of their top guys just go off. You know, you hear Jericho say like, "Oh, Fyter Fest, I don't even remember what I did. I just did it." You know what I mean? Like, it's more natural that way. That's how you get a believable performance, I think. Yeah. I think, when you're – but the rumor also is rumor news, whatever you want to call it, is Vince isn't nearly around as much as he has been backstage.
Right. He's busy with the XFL.
Yeah. So, I mean –
that's probably good.
Yeah, that definitely helps when you have, someone who is such a micromanager to the point that literally everything goes through him. And I know people sometimes are like, no, he did it. He doesn't, like, no, literally he will have the final say on everything if he's there. So not having that kind of pressure around, could definitely help. I like what they're doing with this whole Orton thing.
Oh, I do too.
I like that they did the Kevin Owens thing, but I feel like that was just for last night.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm surprised we still haven't seen Jeff Hardy. Like, I thought for sure Jeff Hardy was coming out at the end of Raw last night.
We discussed it last week. I thought it was going to be Jeff Hardy first and then Edge coming out as well. But now, from what the schedule looks like, from what WWE's even talking about, Beth Phoenix is going to be on next week, and they let it slip that Edge is going to be out on
it's a week right after.
Following week.
Yeah.
Not in ring, but to make an appearance. Who knows? He may do something in ring, but you never know.
Right. And then we saw that contract signing.
Oh my God.
For the chamber match, which definitely finally pitted Natalya and Asuka, which is if
that's where it's got to go.
Does not happen on Monday Night Raw next week.
Right.
It has been the biggest waste of an opportunity, but it's got to be Beth Phoenix is going to get with Natty, and they are going to take on the Kabuki Warriors at Mania for the titles.
Yep.
I'm surprised because I have not seen this being talked about on the interwebs and the dirt sheets.
That's because we are the only ones that pay attention to Asuka.
That can't be though. Like, it's it isn't obvious,
but it's like coming right down, Main Avenue with a flag on the back of it. And but here's the thing: I thought that contract signing was handled very, very well on a couple of fronts.
I think all parties included definitely played their part.
The only one that looked like she didn't have anything cooking was Sarah Logan.
And that was the thing is there was no real good tight zoom on her when she was getting in between Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan.
Yeah,
because she did. If you notice when the big melee was going on, those two were going at it, and she got in between.
I'll tell you.
So I feel like that would be a decent triple threat match. They have the three of them. I don't know if that's WrestleMania worthy.
No, I don't think it is.
Might be a pre-show match. Might not even be. Might just be a Raw match after Mania.
Yeah.
That or if they finally did a 2-day Mania, then definitely. But
I will say this. So in terms of having them hold, I mean, obviously, if there isn't a big red flag waving that says Sasha's going to arrest Sasha. Who's the biter? Gosh dang, my head's blank. Shayna Baszler's going to win. You know it. I mean, there's no way she's not, right? She's singled out of the whole thing.
Oh no, we already said it. I already said it. Becky Lynch is going to, make it that she wins. Like, there's going to be definitely interference and foul play on the behalf of Becky Lynch, just to ensure that they get their match with Shayna Baszler. I thought that was great, though. I like that she didn't just come out right away. I like that I had to sit there and wait and be like, where's Becky? Where's Becky? Yep. She ain't come out yet? Where's Becky at? And I like that Shayna didn't come out right away.
I do, too. I thought it was great.
I know she's your girl, but, like, I don't know about that Asuka promo just because it got a little carried away.
So here's the thing. I mean, I don't know who's telling her to do what. I still watch the Kana Chan TV when she puts something new out, and her English isn't getting any better. But having said that, I will say if she could tone that down a little bit, because it just sounds like she's screaming for no reason. But when she went up to Shayna and said, bite me,
that was good.
I lost my crap.
Yeah,
that was awesome. And then the other part of it was,
and I like that she shoved Natalya out of the way for that.
Yep, absolutely.
Which sets it up.
There you go. You don't shove Natalya and not expect Beth Phoenix to come to her aid.
I just wonder how it's going to happen. Is Beth going to address it? Or is she just going to, is it going to be a backstage segment where she's with Natalya and they come by?
Here's what I think is going to happen. I think that next week when Beth Phoenix comes on to talk about Edge, that the Kabuki Warriors are going to interrupt her. Yeah. And then, and maybe even start taking pokes at her, and then Natalia will come out and save her, and then there you go. We're off to the races.
Yeah. Because they definitely don't need a medical update every week for Edge.
No.
You know, like we haven't had any since the attack. Now we're going to get 2 in a row from her and then him. But I still think we're not going to see him in ring. You know what I mean? Like I still think they're going to play it up. I think we'll see like maybe Jeff. I don't know if we'll see Jeff, but we'll see Christian.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. They keep saying like Jeff Hardy was at the Performance Center. I think he was at SmackDown. Like he's around. You know, but then again, too, maybe if Matt Hardy goes to AEW, maybe they're going to be like, never mind, Jeff. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Rather just call us you a payday.
There you go. Now, the other part that I really liked about that signing was, my God, every time I see Liv Morgan, I am more impressed.
Yeah.
Because that dive she took over that table.
That was dope.
God, dude, I have watched that 5 or 6 times over and over, and I'm just like, holy cow, that little girl just doesn't care.
Oh yeah, that was tight, dude. She went for it.
Oh my God.
Just like it was like when you were like in Mario, you know, and he like would crouch down for 5 seconds and start blinking, you like go and he just like shoots up. Like that's what it was like, dude.
It was just amazing to me.
And like perfectly cleared, perfectly landed onto Ruby. Like and then they were off and going.
Oh my God.
So that was
love that part.
I still wish we got that instead of her coming out with that llama mess.
It's unfortunate.
Because then now she could have maybe been in something a little bit better.
Yeah.
As far as going into Mania. Because again, I don't see Ruby Riott and at least right now, I don't see Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan being a WrestleMania match.
No, I don't either.
And that's what we're all about right now.
Yeah.
You know what
it's interesting. No, we did skip a couple of things, and I just want to find out what your opinion is on this Latino business, because
you know I'll tell you what I think is happening here. Again, I alluded to the colors of his ring gear, Humberto, and how he went from very white and light to red and black.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, you see a wrestler doing that. That usually means they're starting to turn. They're going to be a heel. Like heels always dress dark for some reason. It's just kind of how it goes. And things aren't always like that. But I mean, those are just little hints. But I mean, he kind of had like that. Like he had that touch where it's like he might be going heel on screen. So now it's like, well, is he good or is he not? Yeah, he's fighting his cousin. But like he also was kind of responsible, wasn't he, for Mysterio getting beat up by Angel Garza?
Yeah.
So like basically what I think is happening is we're going to see Humberto and Garza end up tag teaming, and I've gone to the well on this way too many times. So this is the last time. If it doesn't happen here, I don't even care when it happens. I don't care.
So all right. So here's what I think is going to happen, and I'm pretty much on board with you. I think what's going to happen is, because they've advertised for next week, it's going to be Garza and Andrade against Humberto and Mysterio. And my opinion is this, that the three of them go after Mysterio.
Yeah.
And that then allows Dominic to finally get into the mix.
Yes, it's exactly where I'm going. We're going to see Humberto and Garza against Ray and Dominic in a tag match, probably at Mania. I think they're building a Latin stable. I think Andrade and those two. I think Humberto will eventually come on as well. And because they're really, I don't think they're hitting this whole angle of her, Zelina Vega, as far as like they're really trying to be like, no, her and Garza really do have something going on. And maybe that's what they're doing. But they are making a really big deal about how it's business. And she's about business. So the harder she preaches that, the more it makes sense that they give her a stable and that she ends up being like this mastermind. Before it was just Andrade, and now all of a sudden she's got these 3 studs, you know what I'm saying? And then again, that's just because Andrade is not going to get too wrapped up in this mess because he's got a singles career to get back to. I mean, he was, moving up the ladder before his suspension. So, he ain't gonna mess around in this feud too long, I don't think. And I think Dominic and Ray come back. I mean, It just, what was the point of him being there and taking bumps from Brock Lesnar unless he was getting involved? And then the whole, like, don't retire, Dad, because I want to wrestle with you. And let's be honest, Ray should probably retire. Again, he's half Barbie doll. And, like, he just shouldn't, like, I mean, I don't know, man. But again, I feel like this is like the third time now that we've thrown the Dominic scenario out. You
and I are both hoping for that outcome. And hopefully it'll take off. I also wanted to say, in watching this, and I'll skip ahead towards the end. In watching this, particularly towards the end, I've had this feeling about the Latino stable for a bit, in that's something that WCW did.
LWO, baby.
There you go. And as we got to the end, and I'm going to skip ahead to it just because it's fresh in my head, we had a Nick Patrick angle in the main event, and
it's been a while. At least WWE, it's been a while since we've seen like a ref being involved.
We haven't had a crooked ref in a long time anywhere.
And we haven't had a crooked ref, not in AEW yet, but they seem. AEW makes their refs have a presence, though, I think.
Yeah.
I definitely do, because, they really do. So, I mean, that's why their referees are getting chanted as they're coming to the ring for each match and stuff like that. Where WWE, it's more of that quiet. You know who maybe some of them are. But, yeah. So, like, this dude getting involved. And then, I mean, they played it off well.
Oh, gosh, yeah. To be honest, I don't recall seeing that guy as a referee.
No, I didn't. I don't think so either. He's probably some NXT or.
Yeah, he's clearly somebody that can take some bumps.
Yeah, he's definitely probably someone that would. He's probably like an NXTer that was training to be a ref or something. And like they're like, hey, we'll use you in this. I like the shirt though. Like when he got his hands around his neck, I was like, oh man, if he's wearing a Rollins shirt underneath that thing, that would really make this good. And then he did. So that was, and I don't like Rollins, but he played that one well when he's like, I'm just surprised. I don't know what this is about. I don't know what it's about. It's like, yeah, whatever. But I mean, like, dude, Owens had a stellar night.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Killed it. Dude, and Montez Ford having a singles match with Rollins and
he looked
really
fantastic. Good. The other part that was really, really good was Drew McIntyre's little interview. Seemed really sincere about I was the chosen one, then I got fired. I really like that.
Yeah.
And it in my mind, that really pumped him up a lot more.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's it's gonna be a fun night to watch him win over Brock. I am a little sad though, because they are doing a little decent build for this Ricochet Brock match that's gonna happen at Super Showdown on Thursday.
I'll tell you, man.
And I'll tell you, Ricochet is one of those guys that, like, if they decided to just strap the rocket to his back and shoot him to the moon right now and have him go over on Lesnar, like, if the roles were reversed and McIntyre had the Super Showdown match and Ricochet had, like, I feel like they would still be able to make it to the point that I'd be in.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, man, I think Ricochet's going to do it. Or obviously that's not where they're going, and he's, I don't know, more finesse still than he is as far as like the guy to be the leader and top of the show yet. Yeah, he'll have his day though too. I mean, all these guys will. Him and Aleister Black and Heavy Machinery, the Street Profits, like all these guys are all future champions and Hall of Famers. It's just gonna happen. You can already tell because they're meshing with the big boys right now.
Oh so. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the other thing is AJ and the club are on fire as well.
Yeah.
Like, though that I'm into that stable, like it's gotten better. And I'm all for this whole, like, everybody's losing to Ricochet because it's something for him. Because let's be honest, we still got the McIntyre Brock Lesnar build. But I'm excited for that to be over. I'm excited for him to finally, because he's going to get his match with AJ. But I'm excited for that to be over because I really am excited if it ends up really being Taker and AJ at Mania. I don't know if we want insults, so let's not just put it out there like that. you're gonna insult me, I mean, I'll tell you where to go. Man, the way they cut the promos, the way the three of them work together, man, and then throw in some of let's throw some old school Taker just smoking mirrors and on top of it, man, like that's gonna be a fun feud to watch, and it's gonna be a fun match to watch because AJ is one of those guys that, at this point in Taker's career and this age in his life, you know, he's got to be with the right guy to still come off looking like he did a quality match. He could still do his part, but we've saw it with Goldberg, somebody who is not at that caliber and not at Taker's caliber and not at a higher caliber, where at this point in Taker's career, whoever he's working with needs to be just a little bit higher up in that caliber that they can carry him for the things he can't do anymore. And AJ is the man to do it.
Oh, so, God, he sure is.
That's going to be I hate saying it because it's so just, you know, but like, it's going to be a phenomenal match, legitimately. Like, it really, like, I think AJ is going to really make a name. I mean, the guy is a future Hall of Famer and one of the greatest in the biz ever once his career's done. We know this, but I mean, to talk about, you know, going from the guy who no one ever thought they'd see in that WWE suit to now he might have a match with the guy that everybody wants a match with.
Yeah.
And not everybody gets that match.
Absolutely. And you know, we'll just, there were some other matches that were, but the biggest chunk of crap in the entire night was R-Truth and Lashley.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of I liked the beginning just because Lashley played along and was kind of like wanting the answer. Yeah. And I like that. I like that R-Truth did the whole, but he's got bigger muscles than me. And I'd rather ask him questions. I feel like this, I don't know, man, like after the stuff he did with Brock and how like comedy gold that was, you know, to have like Brock Lesnar legitimately barrel laughing in the ring at that, and then to hear that he's backstage pitching ideas now involving R-Truth, like I feel like we might get a little Brock R-Truth after Mania, post-Mania, where Brock's just going to have a good time and R-Truth going to be just that comic relief, and then eventually be destroyed by Brock Lesnar. It's going to be wonderful.
I mean, it would be nice to be able to see Brock in a different position with the company,
and that would really be saying something if he actually was like, "Yeah, I'd actually want to work a match with him."
Yeah,
because that's definitely saying like, "You're taking me off that top spot."
Yeah,
and you're taking that big spotlight off me. Although I don't think so. I think if it happened, I think that would be a main event. I think people would legitimately be hyped to see a Brock and R-Truth match. I mean, it could almost be like the next Kofi Mania. You know?
Yeah. But and just real quick, as you mentioned, that match between Montez and Rollins was holy crap good. I felt like, and I'm not a huge Rollins fan, but I kind of like the way that he was almost challenged, and then decided to okay, fine. Even though they did already announce that match was going to happen at the beginning of the show, but you know, little kids and old guys forget shit. So
well, but Rollins, the thing with that is Rollins is at a point now where he's been there. He's been to the top a few times now. He is now becoming a. I don't know who we're talking about. Who R-Truth? Is that who we're talking about going to AEW? That would be amazing. They would do some real great stuff with him over there. R-Truth and Orange Cassidy in the ring together. You're like, come on, get out of here. That would be the funniest thing in the world. But like the one thing I really like, Rollins is definitely having to take a role of more of the, you know, senior vet guy. Oh, Brock. Oh, all right, One Love. Brock and AEW. I mean, the money would be there.
I'll tell you what, and you know that
him and Hager.
Oh my God, that'd be something. I've always been a Brock guy. One Love, I got to tell you this. I do the announcing at the kindergarten through 8th grade wrestling tournament up here in Minneapolis, and I I got to tell you, I got to meet Brock. Wait, I've been doing it 20 years. I got to meet Brock with Shelton Benjamin and another guy after they had gone to the Nationals, and he was so happy and so kind and shaking hands with all the kids and signing all their stuff. And I don't care what anybody says about the guy, I will always think of him in terms of he's there for those kids. He may not be there for douches like me that are like, hey, Mr. Lesnar, how'd you like to sign my mask? But I really think that he gets a bad rap a lot of the time. And if he does go to AEW, holy cow, that would be a total game changer.
Well, and he's a character. He's a business guy at the end of the day. He is a business guy. He knows what's good for business. He's always been good with his business moves in his career. But I mean, so AEW business move would be a plus for him. I don't know if he would get the money that he would want, because I mean, that would be if Vince found that out, like you're talking to AEW, like, I mean, that's Brock going to get what he wants.
We'll bring Sable back, Brock.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, we'll get you a new Sable. Like, like, I mean, whatever to keep him. Like, that would be a blow. But man, like, I feel like it's almost wrestling business wise. Brock's a lot smarter than I think people realize. I think they think he just shows up, does what he does. But I mean, look at how much people hate him as a champion. That's what the heel's supposed to do. You're supposed to hate him. And then to put the mouthpiece on him that they have with Heyman.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Heyman can do no wrong when he can't do any wrong when you give the man a microphone and tell him to go talk in the ring. But I mean, he's done such a great job doing what he does for Brock. He did a great job when he was doing it with Punk. I mean, like, he is the guy that if you need someone to really have someone who could talk for them, I mean, it's just the perfect dynamic. You got the perfect words with the guy who has the perfect attitude, the great look, just sits in the ring and laughs, and then just bobbles up and down like, like it doesn't. And then on top of that, the fact that he's a legitimate UFC champion just makes it that much more. You know what I mean? Like, that's the appeal when you see these guys come, like Mayweather and Tyson Fury and Tyson when they come over, and Butterbean. Gosh, I remember Butterbean, poor Bart Starr or Bart Gunn, whatever his name. Brawl for All, bring it back, WWE. Do something. You want those Wednesday night ratings to go up, right? Brawl for All, do it.
Don't do that again. Oh my God, no! Don't do that again.
Anyways,
I would not like to do that.
Yeah, man, that would be dope though. Brock Lesnar and AEW, and then again, you get that match with, because it is, they kind of, AEW is smart in doing what they do when they a real UFC MMA fighter, and they're talking about Hagar, which in all reality, both of them are. Oh my gosh, was that what you were doing? I just seen a bunch of things pop up.
Yeah, because it's going to all four of the platforms.
That's awesome, but like. Yeah, it would be cool, man. Like Jake Hagar, or like him and Cody would have a cool thing. Him and Pac.
Him and Luchasaurus.
Him and Hangman would do some good stuff, dude.
Oh my gosh, it just gets your mind going, though.
Him and Kenny too. Him and Kenny.
Oh my God, yeah.
What I mean?
God. See, in my mind, and this is what I think, if he did that with some of those guys, then I think people would really see how good Brock Lesnar really is.
Yeah, I mean, that's just it. I mean, he's not doing a lot in the ring. I mean, suplex, F5, spear. Maybe body slam, maybe a choke slam. I mean, he's not doing a whole lot in the ring, but he's very capable of it if he wanted to. Back in the day, he was doing it. You know what I mean? But it's he's again, one love. I would love to see it happen. Personally, I don't think it would happen. I just don't see Vince ever letting that happen, because he will give him whatever he wants to stay. But then again, you never know. Brock's getting older. He's getting to that point where maybe he's like, I want to have more fun with this now. You never know. It'll be interesting to see how long he's away. after Mania.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, I mean, it's got to be McIntyre. I mean, if he doesn't go over and get that WrestleMania moment, like,
yeah, I was gonna say the only thing that kind of scares me is that the way they're building Ricochet, maybe. Hey, good to see you there.
Yeah.
I can't even read your sterile unstiller 46. Well, that's a good name. We're happy to see you, bud. Thanks for making a comment. We appreciate it very, very much.
Yeah, Twitch. Shout out to everybody on Twitch. Heck yeah. Oh,
Awesome, brother. We appreciate it. That'd be great.
Very awesome. Yeah, every Tuesday, join us. Yeah, it's
So the thing that makes me nervous is somehow, because of Vince's love for Brock Lesnar, which I also have, my concern would be that he would not want Brock to lose, that Ricochet could lose win underhandedly somehow with interference from McIntyre, maybe, and then I don't know. I'm just nervous.
So you think there's a slight possibility that we will see a Ricochet win and a Ricochet McIntyre Mania match?
There's always a slight possibility. I sure as hell hope not.
What you get would be a stellar match. The two would work an amazing match. Nothing against that match. But I mean, the thing that makes that so highly unlikely to me, and why I don't think that's a worry, they wouldn't have done that mess in the Rumble.
Right.
The Rumble was the key to setting this all up to it having to culminate at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
The stare down, the lingering Brock not leaving right away, disbelief, the pop that he got in the stadium that night that's just a fun elimination to watch over now. Like,
oh yeah,
when he gets that Claymore and just boom right over the ring and that whole place just freak out. And then on top of that, you just directly stopped this amazing destructive run Brock was putting on in the Rumble. It was.
I just always like to throw up those.
And you got to. You never know. That's just it. It's wrestling. Card is always subject to change. Mm-hmm. But, unless some sort of suspension or injury were to happen, this McIntyre Brock match is going down at Mania. And if McIntyre doesn't go over, that would be my bigger worry, is that they might not pull the trigger on McIntyre winning. But they have to. The guy's riding so high right now.
After the promo he did, the interview he did, there's no way that he's not going to win. There's no way.
Let me ask you this, though, because this is something I've noticed in these last few years, really since 30. Every year we got that story, that major story of this guy. We had Daniel Bryan at 30. You had Rollins winning with the briefcase. You had Reigns getting the big win in Dallas over Triple H. You had, last year, Kofi Mania.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting all these really real big buildups. Where back in the day, it wasn't really like that. It's gonna be Stone Cold versus Bret Hart, or Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart, or you're gonna see Razor Ramon. No, you were seeing just two really top good guys going at it, and the winner was gonna be the champ. Or here we're getting these stories now of, it seems like every year now Mania has to have some sort of underdog, the time is now. It's gonna, which is cool, but it's starting to kind of feel really predictable in this case. It might not hurt them to maybe swerve people, and all of a sudden Brock gets the win.
Man, if they do,
I'm just saying, like you said, just throwing things out. If it really is McIntyre's time, who's to say that he can't somehow finagle a title match the next night on Raw and then win it there? Because that's another thing too. I feel like in the last 2-3 years, night after Mania, Raw after Mania has kind of dropped off with how big of a night that was. We were seeing major thing happen there. I was at it in 29 when Ziggler cashed in on Alberto Del Rio and the place freaking blew up. You know what I mean? I was there at Mania when Brock made the return and F5 Cena. I was there when Paige came out and challenged AJ and won the NXT and Divas champion. Like, those were like big moments that you remember. And I feel like, it was those and like a major debut from NXT, where now the debuts aren't really happening. Everybody's just getting mixed in now.
Yeah.
And NXT is just so much more prominent because it's not really developmental anymore. It's just the C brand, I guess. So they kind of are on a bigger stage. But then, it's just, I don't know. I lost my train of thought where I was going with that one.
No, I get it. I mean, there's, the thing that I always go back to is when you think, oh, this has to happen. There are many times that the WWE has done what we've thought was impossible, was not to happen, i.e., Roman Reigns. Now, if Roman Reigns won, it wouldn't be that big a deal, and I don't think anybody feel nearly as bad about it. But when they were, in essence, jamming him down everybody's throat, and I just remember watching something with you and Lou, and going, oh my God, not again.
Yeah.
And there's always the chance that they're going to do that at the drop of a hat at the very last minute. Well, just like they did with Brock winning the Money in the Bank match.
Well, and in true fashion of that, card subject to change and what we're talking about right now, SmackDown side, things have already gotten changed up. Reigns' match has changed already, I guess, from what the plan was. Someone else's match got changed. I didn't.
Rusev got pulled out of it completely.
Yeah, so I mean, there's but again, too, I feel like, especially on that SmackDown side, there's not a lot of build going on right now towards Mania. Like what are they doing with Bayley?
It's going to be Bayley and Naomi. And that's the only thing. And to be honest,
which means Naomi's winning.
I don't think
if she doesn't.
Here's why I don't think so. Because they've been still working Lacey Evans.
Oh, have they? Okay, never mind.
Yeah, and Naomi and Lacey are both faces, and that would never happen. So no. I think it's going to be the same kind of a display match as last year, and except this time it's for the women's championship.
Okay. Yeah. Whatever.
And then I think they'll come back, and then I think because Vince likes Lacey Evans so much that Bayley will give it up at Mania to her. The only other thing going on SmackDown, there's two things. There's the date, and man, they're screwing that up. In my mind, they're just screwing it up royal. They're making Otis look like a stalker, and a creep.
Yeah, and I don't like that they're having her play along with the Ziggler stuff.
No, I think it's ridiculous. They're going to screw this up royally. And then the other thing is, I know you hate the guy.
Honky Tonk Man?
Yeah, Honky Tonk, the bald Honky Tonk Man. Here's the thing. I am more afraid that Goldberg is going to win that title off the Fiend than anything else on Thursday.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid that they're going to, because probably, I mean, since it is what it is, if you pay me enough money and you want to see a title change hands, it's going to change hands.
Yeah, that, and on top of that, I think they're kind of getting to the end of the Fiend. Unfortunately, like, it's just not what it was. It's just now it's just kind of like a thing. I don't know. It's just it doesn't have the hype it had to where I feel like there's other people coming up that could take that spot.
Again, they ruined it. They had it. Mm-hmm. The idea of him not selling stuff made perfect sense.
But that's what happens when they give the green light to a talent to kind of go on their own and run with what their idea is. But then when they come back and like, here's what it is. Yeah, we love it. We love it. We love it. We're going to change this part, though, and then we're going to change this part. And then what the entire original vision was ends up not being that vision.
Yeah.
Because you can't think that Bray Wyatt or Mr. Rotundo is actually in enjoying the spot that's happening right now. Maybe he is though too. He is the champ, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Goldberg won, and then I wouldn't be surprised if we see like a big match where Goldberg drops it at Mania to Daniel Bryan or somebody.
Bryan or. And hell, it could Tyson Fury could come back and beat the hell out of it.
If that's what they're doing with the SmackDown title, or the it's Tyson Fury versus Goldberg, like just get rid of SmackDown at that point. Like, who gives a crap?
So from what I've been reading, and I didn't check 100%, but some of the things I saw and have seen online, the last 2 weeks that Goldberg has showed up, the ratings have gone up. And the fact is, he's Oldberg, and if people want to see him, and you got to think if they're trying to attract anybody to Fox at this point on Friday nights, and anybody shows up, that's a win for them. And Goldberg may find himself more involved than he wants to be.
Yeah, well, it's, people, again, maybe I'm just too old school of a fan. Excuse me. I don't know. But for me, Goldberg was just never.
No.
Wasn't a thing. But I know people who were like the biggest Goldberg fans. A good friend of past shows that I've been a part of, my friend Matt Bush, was a part of what's called the Podcast of Immortals out of Duluth, Minnesota. Him and Jimmy Bellamy, Andy McKeon. Great show. I think they had like a 7 or 8 year run. Literally just put their very last episode out last week. Bravo to those guys, though. We've been friends for a long time doing these wrestling podcast stuff. So, but that guy is like a huge Goldberg mark. Like, Goldberg is life. He loves that dude. And then we had that discussion. I'm like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. He doesn't do anything. I don't get it. He just comes out and breathes smoke and does his and then spears somebody, jackknife, and we're done.
The thing about Goldberg is that he was a talent of convenience. And back when he was coming up, I mean, he really, all he had was a look. He couldn't wrestle at all. And nobody wanted to teach him because that's not how WCW worked.
No, and imagine what this guy's career would have been if he would have just been a WWF.
Oh gosh,
or E guy at that time.
It'd have been totally different. I mean,
he'd be the Brock Lesnar.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
They would have taught him how to do things properly.
Which those two wasn't that his last match? His last match was either Lesnar or Triple H with WWE. His short run with WWE.
Well, he had that
it was Triple H.
Yeah, he had that little short one. I think it was he and Lesnar.
I think he worked both. I think his last match with WWE, but that run was against Triple H. So I think he retired him. Which, by the way, if you're not watching the Ruthless Aggression show on the network, it's pretty interesting. It's good stuff. I'll give WWE props on the network shows when they do these documentary type shows on past stuff. They're good. They do a good job, and you get the stories and you see the insight you've always wanted on these things. So bravo to that, and bravo to that they're not talking to ESPN Plus anymore for pay-per-views. This is going to be a thing. If they start charging pay-per-views again and not giving it to the network subscribers,
they're going to have a huge problem.
Woof.
Yeah.
That's playing with fire. That's playing with fire, Vince. But
all right, so let's all right, well, I think we talked enough about WWE for the time being. Let's talk about AEW.
Well, I got one more thing about WWE I wanted to ask you, and it's not anything related to the action from this past week. But obviously, we are in the road to WrestleMania. Obviously, there's announcements coming out for things involving WrestleMania. And one of those things is Hall of Fame inductions.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I don't think it's been announced, right? Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith. I don't think it's been officially announced, but there's a really heavy rumor that one's happening. Okay. What do we got? NWO's in it.
NWO.
But the one I want to bring up, though.
Ellis.
Okay, yeah. The one I wanted to bring up, don't get me wrong. It was announced this week the Bella twins are getting inducted. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Bella fan, was from day one. And to be honest, they were two that I think a lot of people were like, they're just hot twins. That's why they're here. And I think they proved a lot of people wrong because they were actually really good in ring. I mean, they probably weren't to the par where we're at right now in this moment. but they definitely helped get some of these girls up there, and they weren't bad. I always thought Brie was really good. I think she learned a lot from Daniel Bryan. I just feel like there's other women that maybe deserve that kind of nod at this point in the careers. I feel like the Bellas have been gone for, like when Edge, when he retired, okay? I know he's back now, but when he retired,
yeah,
that very next Mania, he was inducted right away. No questions asked, because the man's career was done as far as anybody knew at that point. Right. He wasn't going to do anything else, and he had done so much. Cool. The Bellas don't have nowhere near the history he has.
True.
They've only been gone for like 2 years now, a year and a half. They haven't been gone long.
But here's something to remember, and think about it in these terms, all right? The Bella Twins have generated a lot of outside money for the WWE.
And I get that, but that's where I feel like, because I've felt like this too, like the last maybe year or two, like last year with the Hall of Fame, like how they made it. I don't know. It's losing the feel of the fact that should still be considered somewhat prestigious.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
And it's not anymore. Now it's in the ring. It's kind of hokey. It's not this really fancy ceremony anymore. And then again, they sold a shitload of merch and they're on E! Entertainment all the time, and now they're doing other shows and movies, and they're twins and they're hot. Yeah, that's what I'm in the Hall of Fame. Like,
see, it's almost really? It's like you say. It's almost like everybody's just like, yeah, I'll just wait in line and then they'll put me in.
Like, dude, is Miss Elizabeth even in? Like, if she's not, how has she not been in there?
I don't know if she is. She should be.
Luna Vachon, which I think she got inducted, didn't she?
Yeah, I think she did. I know Sherry Martel. I always love watching that whole night with her, and God, who else is on with her getting inducted? I think Mean Gene's inducted on that one as well.
Oh, yeah.
That is one of the most fun nights to watch for me.
Like that, or like Molly Holly.
Molly Holly, absolutely.
Or like just from that era, Molly Holly, Victoria at this point could be going in. Ivory. Has Ivory gotten that nod?
I think Ivory got in.
Yeah, I think she did get in. I mean, Tori got it last year. Cool. I don't think Stacy Keibler's gotten the nod yet.
I don't think she's going to.
And I don't think she will either. She wasn't much of a wrestler.
No.
She was like a true ballet. But then again, so was Kelly Kelly.
Yeah.
And I love her, but she is not that great in the ring. And she's going to get the nod. I mean, shit, she's already back.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. But I don't know. I just felt like that. I felt like they jumped the gun. I felt like we could have waited a few more years before the Bellas needed to get that kind of nod.
Yeah.
And that's just the wrestling fan in me. But that's why there's other Hall of Fames that do stuff.
Right. I am assuming that Melina is not in.
No, but since she's in an NWA,
she's not going to now. By the way, before we're done, we'll talk about that a little bit because I watched it tonight. So I watched both weeks. Let's go to AEW first, or we could do this and finish with AEW, because to be honest, there's not a whole heck of a lot to talk about other than the fact that the new show, the Circle Squared, where they have guys come in and in essence try out for NWA, is actually pretty cool. You can see some guys really need some work, but they're good in the ring, and you see some guys that are really good on the mic, but not real good in the ring, and it makes for a really interesting show. All in all, guys doing stuff that I couldn't do.
Right.
And then so there was not an NWA Power last week at all. They only had that show. And I think the reason they did it was so that people would watch it. And it was pretty good. And then this week they came back and hyped was a match between Melina and Thunder Rosa for the women's title that Melina tried to back out of. And then the former champion, Allison Kay, came in and smacked her and threw her back in the ring. And then our favorite Oh, what's the big girl's name? I can't think of her name. And we talk about her all the time.
Oh, Camille.
Yeah, Camille comes
You
in.
threw me off when you said big girl because I was like, you mean jacked big, or are we talking like Nia Jax big? What are we talking?
No. I mean the top. I should have said the top girl.
You should just said the hot blonde.
Yeah,
I would have known.
Anyway, Camille comes in and spears Allison Kay, and Thunder Rosa is just left staring at her, and they both sort of stare at each other. So this is gonna work out good. This whole thing is the women's division in NWA is very well developed. I really enjoy all of them that are part of it. The main four is Camille, Melina, Allison Kay, and Thunder Rosa, and there are actually about another 4 or 5 ancillary girls that do a great job.
Nice.
And so this is in my mind, compared to the other shows that I watch, with the exception of NXT, I would say this is probably the way that you want to do a women's division. The other thing that was really interesting, Marty was on this episode again as Nick Aldis called him out and was ready to go to town. And he says, let's do it right now. And climbs into the ring. And Nick Aldis says, are you sure you want to do this? One of the wild cards comes out. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes, I want to do it. Another one of the wild cards comes out. You sure you want to do this? It's your last chance. But Marty says yes. And then they start in, and down from the stairs comes another member of Villain Enterprises from ROH. I don't know who it was because I don't watch ROH enough. But
was it PCU or PCO or
it wasn't PCO because he would have needed a walker to get down the stairs. But it was, the reason I knew was because they had on the back of their shirt Villain Enterprises.
That's awesome.
So that made me know who the players were, even though I didn't have a program. But again, if you're not watching NWA and you want to get a nice short, they do a really good job inside an hour. And it's I'm on board with NWA Power. All right. So let's move on to the AEW, who has a pay-per-view coming up this Saturday.
Yeah.
Revolution, which I will say again, I'm going to work from the back a little bit. I don't know that I've ever seen anybody do a moonsault from as high as Cody Rhodes did off of that thing.
Yeah, dude, this guy's gonna die in the ring.
I think he is.
Like, I mean, he does some stuff that, like, as a fan, I'm like, you don't need to do that. That's cool.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, that was crazy. I didn't get to watch all of this. I just kind of saw some highlights. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's really hard. And I was on about my 7th straight day of just wrestling, overloading my brain at that point when Dynamite happened, and I was just like, I just can't. So I watched like 5 hours of Brooklyn Nine-Nine instead.
There you go. You got to cleanse that palate.
I had to laugh, man. I had to just watch some stuff and laugh, and that was it. So, I did see some things though. And dude, Arn throwing MJF over the barricade just made me sad.
I'll tell you what.
It just looks so bad. Like, he can't do it.
Yeah, that looked bad. But the part that I was okay with was when he smacked him in the face with the gate.
Yeah.
It's okay. So that made up for it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, because they're really making a big deal out of how this is going to be Revolution, the first pay-per-view of the decade. And I don't know, I feel like they got a lot riding on this one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think the matches are there, though.
Clearly, the big storyline is going to be the splintering up of the Elite, and how that all plays out.
I mean, you got that. You got the Moxley Jericho match. Is it official? Hager and Dustin?
Hager and Dustin, I believe, is.
So, I mean, we're getting Jake Hager's in-ring debut finally.
Yeah.
and against Dustin, which is going to be sick. Plus, those two have worked together before. They know each other. It's going to be a great match. So that's awesome. Cody MJF obviously is going to be.
We're going to find out what the women's title match is tomorrow, and they had a spot where Nyla Rose came out and did an interview.
They already announced that match.
Oh, they did? Who is it?
Chris Statlander.
Oh, well, that's totally.
I think they announced it today, actually.
That's totally different than what was.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. This was yesterday at 6:30. Breaking news added to AEW Revolution. Chris Statlander versus Nyla Rose.
All right. Well, I'm on board with that. She was one of the ones that came out and confronted her after her promo. The other one was Big Swole. I'm not as on board with Big Swole as I am with Statlander.
I agree.
And it's not nothing against her ability. She just doesn't match up size-wise. Not that that's a bad thing, but it's just like she shouldn't be coming out running her mouth and being sassy the way she does, because I got a feeling that there's a couple of them that could clean her clock.
Well, and the other thing too with that is she ain't doing anything different or special. Like she's just kind of where obviously the whole what do they call her? What is it? The galaxy's greatest alien, Chris Statlander. Like, she thinks she's an alien. Like, that's a great gimmick. It's entertaining and it's like super baby face.
Yeah.
Like, she's gonna sell the merch with the little kids. Like, little girls are gonna love her. Like, honestly, like, I think this is it. I still think that like AEW's big plans were kind of messed up because I really do think Kylie Ray was on tap to be like one of their major female baby faces.
Absolutely correct, and I think it's very clear because it's just such a mess.
Yeah, so
they were just never able to get it back on track.
Right. So, and Riho is amazing. We talked about that last week. Technically, she made. That suplex that she did, that Omega does, and she did it to Nyla. Like, come on, 98 pounds whipping that over your head. That smacked me up. And then I don't know. I don't know if I'd like to say they're gonna drop. Like, she's gonna drop the belt, Nyla.
I think so. Here's what I think. I think that they wanted to get it off of Riho, and they didn't want to do it with Britt Baker because Britt Baker's already wrestled her 3 times.
Right, but they're definitely building Britt Baker to be that that top heel.
And I think because Statlander is such a over face at this point, that she's going to win, and then Britt Baker's going to take it off her. And you're going to have a heel champion, and then Nyla. But then the problem is, what do you do with Nyla Rose?
Yeah, but then you can have Nyla Rose go face.
Yeah, but that ain't going to happen. I don't think that'll ever happen.
I don't know. I think she could do it.
Well, I do too.
I don't think, and I think it would go over well. Otherwise, I don't know. Maybe down the line they add a women's tag to it. I don't. That's just it. It's so hard because their women's division is just so not up to par with the rest of the show that it's like, I don't know what they're gonna do. I agree though. I think Statlander beats Nyla Rose, and then I think we finally see Britt Baker really get to do what they're getting her ready to do, and that's be that mega heel. So another match I'm excited for that's going to happen on Revolution, and this is just for the sheer physicality that's going to happen. Like, these two are going to go nuts. I think it's going to be a really high quality match. Darby Allin and Sammy Guevara. I think these two are going to, as long as Guevara's ankle or foot or whatever that was hurt about a month ago, as long as that's back up to par, I think these two are going to tear the house down.
Were you able to watch? Did you watch when Darby Allin came back out during the end when the Inner Circle was? Oh my God, what a pop did he get?
Nice. Oh no. See, this is what's funny is he's worried about hotel Wi-Fi, but he actually just dropped it home, and that's why you're stuck with me. Where can I change? I can't change. There he is.
Yeah, we just had a little reboot.
Don't worry about that hotel Wi-Fi, bro.
Yeah, that's right. No, I think Darby Allin's probably just as over as a lot of those guys, if not more. The pop he got when he came back was insane.
Well, and those two, like, they just match up so well, him and Sammy Guevara. And I mean, that's the other thing. Like, Sammy Guevara is a top-notch athlete in the ring.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, like, these two are going to put on just a show, man. It's going to be good.
Now, are the Lucha Brothers? Do they have a match in the pay-per-view?
I don't think so. I've seen the Allen one with Sammy Guevara, obviously the women's championship. Then you got Jericho and Moxley for the championship, which that's a rough call, man. That's a real rough call because obviously Moxley could be the top guy, but then it makes you think, like, what's Jericho gonna do? He's the guy right now, and
honestly, I kind of think it's too early.
I think so too. I don't think they take it off him. I don't think they take it off him.
Yeah, I don't think he wins clean, but I don't think they take it off him.
I don't think they take it off him. I don't know who does, honestly. I don't know.
I think eventually it could be either Moxley or Kenny or Pac. But I don't, with Pac being a heel, I don't think that'll happen.
Well, and I feel like we're still going to see Cody in that picture eventually.
I think
I know the whole, like, whatever, but like how that hasn't gotten brought up in this whole MJF feud going into Revolution, like all the stipulations, like if Cody this week on Dynamite doesn't come out and say, you had all the stipulations, well, guess what? Here's mine. When I beat you, I can then go for the AEW title. Because you cost me that chance. So if I beat you, I can have another shot at the belt sometime. Like, why wouldn't you? Like, it would make this all that much better. Plus, we all know Cody's going to eventually have a shot at it. Yeah. I see him and at least him and Kenny and Hangman all at some point carrying that title.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I really do. And to be honest, I think Scorpio Sky is going to have a shot at that title as well.
And yeah.
I mean,
and that's a whole nother interesting storyline right there with SCU. Scorpio and Kazarian all think that Christopher Daniels is.
Here's my take on it: is if Hardy signed, obviously he is the guy.
Yeah.
If he didn't sign, yeah, it's Daniels.
Yeah. What about Beardy? You know who I'm talking about. Dark-haired Gator roller.
Luke Harper.
Yeah, what about Luke Harper?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it could. I forget that he's out there still. Yeah.
I mean, I got to think he's going to come over sooner or later, whatever the wait time is.
I think so too, but I would rather. This is just me, and maybe people are going to call me crazy. If it's not Matt Hardy, who obviously fits so well into the Dark Order, can kind of come in and play that heel role because he just came off this shitty ending with WWE, or just not up to his par, how he'd like that to end it. And then, if he does come over, like, he fits perfectly into that role. If he doesn't, I think bringing back that whole Dark Angel thing. And I think the other thing is SCU's hot, but they're not hot like 2 years ago hot.
Right.
It's going to die off eventually, and like they're going to have – and again, Scorpio Sky is getting primed for a huge solo run. Oh, I know they could pull like a New Day and they still have their thing, but I just don't know if it's going to happen. Because the other thing, too, is really how many more years does Christopher Daniel have?
Right.
The guy's been doing it forever. At some point, he's going to want to be like, all right, that's enough, man.
Yeah.
Like, the body's had it. So I just think if they can't get Hardy to do it, he would fit that role better. And then what I would do is if I knew we had Harper in the back pocket, I have him come out. I have Jake Hager goes over on Dustin Reynolds, and then I have Luke Harper come out and just get in the ring and just stare down with Jake Hager. Because that's the big thing. They're building Hagar as he's the big guy. You know what I mean? And then they got some other big guys, Luchasaurus and stuff. But Luke Harper comes in there, like, I think that'd be a cool moment.
Yeah, I agree. Other thing, but and by the way, we've already talked about it a little bit. I can't wait for the match between the Bucks and Kenny and Hangman. It's just going to be so good, and it's just I just can't wait to see how Hangman pulls away from him.
Yeah.
Ultimately, you know.
Well, what's cool about it is like AEW has had a lot of great moments so far, but they've been great moments because they're groundbreaking. They're the first time. They're whatever. That match and how they go about it with the breakup of the Elite, with Hangman going away and then eventually having the match with Kenny. I mean, that is going to be the first big AEW memory, not just because it was the first of something or that it was the first time they've done this or, you know, a first time for AEW. No, that will be just one of those, as a wrestling fan, you will look back and be like, that was cool. Because, again, these guys built the Elite off a YouTube show and doing indies.
Right.
And to have it come all the way to here to where we're seeing it on screen, and it's, you know, man, it's going to be, and I like that they're playing the drinking card, man. You don't see that anymore.
No.
Like what? Like Scott Hall.
Yeah.
Road Warrior, Hawk. Well, and that's just it. Most of the guys that they did the storylines with, they were actually really drunk.
Just like, yeah, he's going to be drunk. Let's just figure it out.
Yeah, he's going to puke. Let him puke at the ring. Good ratings. That was my favorite when he puked on Eric Bischoff.
My God.
Oh, that is so great. But yeah, man, I'm pretty pumped for Revolution. I'm actually kind of excited to watch it.
I will thank you to not spoil it for me because I won't be able to watch it until I get home. I'm doing a show in Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin.
Yeah, somewhere in Wisconsin,
dude. Oh my God. On Friday morning, I got to get up and leave and go to Brimley, Michigan, which is up on the Lake Superior, about 8 hours from here. And then I got to get up at about 3:00 in the morning and drive back so I can get down to Prairie du Chien. I thankfully don't have to go as far as my buddy Mark that I'm working with. He's got to go down to Sioux Falls when we're done.
Yeah.
So yeah, I told him, yeah, we're both on the same page for idiotic booking.
Life of a road comic.
Oh my God,
it's rough.
And then the good news is I get to come home on Sunday and take a nap, and then I don't have to leave on Monday until 1:45.
Oh, that's nice.
That's a late flight, which means I can get up a little bit later, but not much.
Yeah, plus on a Monday at that time, the airport shouldn't be too crazy busy. So.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it was 2 weeks ago.
Really? That's crazy.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
I don't have the TSA pre-check.
Oh, you got to get it.
But I have what's called Clear.
Dude, oh, okay. I was going to say Groupon's got a deal on the TSA pre-check right now.
The big problem is I wasn't able to find the documentation I needed for pre-check. I know it's here somewhere. I just don't know where. But Clear I was able to do just with stuff I had.
Is that the same thing?
It's not exactly the same thing, but it's close. So when you go to the airport, you get 3 lanes. You got one for normal Joes. You got one for TSA pre-check, and you got one for Clear. In essence, I don't know how TSA pre-check works because I don't have it. But I go to Clear. I use my fingertips, which I've already entered in everything in Retina. Plunk them in there. It says, yes, you're approved. You show your boarding pass, over your phone. It clinks, and there you go. You have someone from Clear who, first you give them a ticket, and then when you get to the end of the line, they literally take you and walk you up to the front of the line. Almost as like, I feel bad for barging in front of everybody, but you're the one doing it. So cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's basically what TSA pre-check is. You just go through their line, and then some of them have their own, little security belt that you go through.
Yeah.
So then you don't even deal with the other ones. And then some, depending on the airport, sometimes they just pause the regular line and let you go in then.
And I'll tell you, too, the variance in TSA checking from airport to airport is crazy. They didn't need to see much from me at MSP. In Boston, I got stopped because I had a big tube of toothpaste in my thing.
That'll do it.
And they said, but the toothpaste didn't bother them in Minneapolis, but it bothered them in Boston. And they said, sir, you can either, do you want to put it in something else or do you want to get rid? I said, well, get rid of it. I mean, it's toothpaste, for God's sakes. I don't need that.
Right.
Throw it out.
Yeah.
Let me go on about my business.
Yeah. That's my one regret when I was doing a lot of traveling for work and I didn't have TSA pre-check. I wish I should have got it. Should have. Those days when I got to use it with like someone else because they booked it and they had it, so my ticket automatically had it. Like those days were nice, man. Like literally, you go, you show them license, you go in, throw everything on the conveyor belt, don't have to take anything off, walk through the whole thing, and you're done.
Yeah,
you
are. And dude, it's cheap too. $85 for 5 years.
All right, like literally, I would have back when I was working and traveling, like after my like second or third race, that would have been paid for in full. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Well, shoot, man. Yeah, next week, dude. We got
we'll have a pay-per-view to talk about.
Yeah, we'll get some results.
We'll have the Great Arabian Money Grab to talk about.
Did you see that? I didn't read into what it is, but I just saw a headline that says Vince McMahon has a plan that is ensured that there will be no flight delays this time around.
He's probably renting his own plane,
which still doesn't mean anything. Like they can still stop him if he's in their airspace. The funny thing is, like, and knock on wood, but I mean, like, how messed up would it be if like we end up going to war and it's all over bad business because of Vince McMahon?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I think they can be mad at him, but I don't think that they'll ever come to that.
No. I mean, but
it would be.
Oh, he would love it. And we're at war because of me. Damn it, and we're gonna win.
That's a good shit.
I've only won one war.
We lost one whole show, but this is good shit.
He tries to buy Saudi Arabia. Doesn't work that way, Vince.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man. It'll be good. Yeah, we'll have some Revolution results. Another Raw, another SmackDown on the way to Chamber.
And we do have one more Dynamite before Revolution as well.
Yeah, like I said, I'm hoping to see some cool stuff, man. Like, it's been a while since we got a go home show. Yeah, I do like the spacing too, because I mean we got this pay-per-view. I don't think they're doing another pay-per-view till Double or Nothing in Vegas in May.
Right.
So I mean that's like a 2.5, almost 3 month solid bill in between pay-per-views, which is so much time to do so much, and they're doing good now. And like we said last week, you're seeing AEW like as an all-around show starting to really come together. So, I mean, hopefully they can really ride it high into Revolution and then, do something cool going into Double or Nothing. I did hear Double or Nothing ticket sales are kind of, but I
think that's probably because it's so far off.
No, it is because of they're not doing StarCast this year at it.
Oh.
Yeah, Conrad apparently lost some money on that last year. Yeah, I guess StarCast was it lost money. They didn't make money on it last year in Vegas for some reason, which I don't know how you pull that off. Because if you're making money at every other, wrestling, if you're going to Mania and doing a convention like that, or you did it in Chicago, I don't get how you're not making the money in Vegas on it. I don't know. Maybe it's spending. I don't know. But either way, they didn't make money on it. No StarCast this year, and AEW hasn't announced anything to kind of take place of a fan fest. So they're saying they're not seeing a lot of like out of town people really buying tickets for it right now. So
maybe we ought to have XCast.
Well, I think they should, because it just happens to fall during my birthday weekend, which I just happen to have a 4-day weekend that weekend.
Let's send them a proposal.
I'm just saying, like, if you guys want some entertainment, me and the Masked Man will come down and talk and be stupid for a few hours.
You can get the 4 people that are watching.
Heck yeah.
Sign a petition, and then we'll send it to AEW. And just say, you know what? The first time we'll do it for free, but after that, it'll cost you.
Right? Mask has done so many casino shows, too. He's a pro.
Oh, my God. I'm a pro to casino. I can do 45 minutes to an hour when nobody's paying attention to me at all.
Right? Like,
I'm good at that. I mean, just like now.
I just need as long as we get tickets to the show. To be honest, though, like, The only reason that's kind of a spendier trip right now is because it's a holiday weekend.
Well, it's a holiday
It's
weekend.
no reality.
And
Get cheap rooms, you know.
but here's the thing about Las Vegas, okay? So like if you were going to Chicago, you can get a cheap room, reasonable room for one night. If you're going to Las Vegas and you're going for an event like that, I don't know if you remember this or know this. In Las Vegas, you can't book just one night on the weekend. You have to book Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday. You can't just book the one night. So that, I mean, if I'm honest, those rooms are not cheap. You know, I mean, unless you're.
No, I'm just talking overall, generally because that's the other thing too. If I was going to Chicago, it wouldn't be one night. I'd go for like 3 nights anyways. So I mean, I look at it that way. So I mean, in all reality, I mean, you got what, like a $30 night hotel room with like a $20-$30 resort fee. So you're still under $100 a night. So, you know, stay on Fremont. Don't have to worry about the stupid strip. It's cheaper. You get more entertainment for free on there, you know, and then go to MGM for the show. And other than that, just have some fun in Vegas. And that's the beauty of Vegas. You can have a ball. You can go sit at a nickel machine for 3 hours, get free drinks, have a good time. And again, I love just going on Fremont, man. Like this, the free entertainment and the people watching. I could do that for hours. I did that for hours. It was amazing. So I don't know. You never know. Let's see. Maybe I'll get my tax money back in time, and maybe I'll go.
Well, we'll see. It's still a ways off.
I legitimately do have a 4-day weekend already during that weekend, though.
Like, I have to always check my schedule because I'm typically home, but man, I can't. The hard part for me is like I'm dreading this weekend. If I wasn't home this week, I'd be like, I would be getting home on Thursday and having to get up and
leave right away. Yeah, I couldn't do what you're doing this weekend. Not for me.
We'll see how it all pans out. Anyway, again, if you've been watching, listening at any point during our program, you can be our 6th listener. The way to do it, the way to win, the way to become our random 6th listener winner and win a $25 gift card to probably Amazon and a Masked Comedian XCast hat, which you can take to the pawn shop and they will only charge you $3 to get rid of it. Make a comment on Facebook or YouTube if you wouldn't mind. We'd love to hear from you. And we will, of course, mention you want to be our 6th listener. And we will pick whoever at random. And I think we'll do this. This is the 20-something. Let's do this until about, I don't know, the 15th of March. Or whatever the second or third Tuesday in March is. Whatever that might be. Let's do the 7th, 6th, March 11th, I think, will be our deadline. So do that, if you will. Make a comment. And by the way, no relatives or friends friends can win. No relatives though, because you know that would be wrong. That would be against the rules of prizedom. We'll run the rules just like we do at a radio station. You know, if you're one of the sponsors, you're not allowed to win.
No. If you're a sponsor, you can win. Just keep sponsoring.
If you're a sponsor, let us know.
We should get some sponsors. Actually,
we should get a sponsor.
Sponsor us if you're watching. Sponsor us.
You can sponsor us cheap. We could be just like this dude that came in and was going to make overlays for our show. That, by the way, you know, we have overlays. I mean, we've got a couple of them. Let's see. Oh, there we got that one. That one. Oh, wait. What the hell? Where is it? It's broke.
It don't work.
Hold on. Let me try this.
Oh.
It's hidden. I wonder why that is. Oh, because I got some. They made some pretty cool little changes to this, and I just haven't been able to see them all. Yeah, they just
Oh.
don't show up. See, they're underneath instead of in front. Anyway, point being, whatever. All right. 1 hour, 25 minutes in, we've had a blast. Have you had a blast?
Hell yeah.
I've had a blast. I always have a blast. It's fun to talk about wrestling. It's fun to talk about life, and it's fun to wear a mask. Wear a mask everywhere, especially Wells Fargo, where they really love it.
Oh, that's so great.
It is. They're like, hey, is that a new mask? Nope, this is just, it helps so you don't know who I am.
Someday the bloopers will come out of what you're really saying when we go off air.
Yeah, maybe they will, maybe they won't. You never know.
No.
You never know. Anyway.
The only thing about it is you're going to have to like start wearing it when we go to any events now.
I know. That's and you know, I'm hoping, there's two problems with it. First, it's starting to stretch out a little bit, which is good.
Oh, yeah.
Second, it's starting to stink a little bit, which is bad.
Febreze, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do.
Or just stick it in the washing machine.
We stick it in the washing machine. It's 100% cotton. This is 100% cotton mask. It's going to shrink like a bastard.
Don't dry it, though. Just get like a mannequin styrofoam head and put it on there for like a few days and it'll dry.
If I can find a watermelon, I'll stick it on there. Need it big. Need it big, man.
Well, once we get those sponsors, we'll get you a custom fitted mask.
We'll get a mask sponsor.
Oh, yeah.
That's what would really be the best. A mask sponsor. I got a tea sponsor.
You got
for like if we ever drink tea on the air. I've got a tea sponsor lined up, but they just says, "Well, we'll just see." We're not 100% convinced that you're ever going to drink any tea on that show.
If that's a real thing, I'll do it because I do actually like tea.
You know what? I have some tea here. I got 3 big boxes. One is from Celestial Seasonings. Are you familiar with that company? They're the ones that make Red Zinger. Red Zinger is delicious. They also have Yellow Zinger, Orange Zinger, Raspberry Zinger. They've made a name on the zingers.
Zinger.
I've also got from some other company one called Throat Coat.
Oh yeah, I got that.
Which that's good shit.
In the radio industry.
Yep, it's a high volume. It's named properly, but also kind of naughtily.
I'll tell you what, it works though, man. You know how many times I have to go on air and I drink that and be like, oh wow, I can actually do it.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff. Anyway, all right. For all of you out watching, we're done. We're simply done. If you'd like to make a comment, do it. If you'd like to subscribe, holy crap, do that. And come back and see us next week again on Tuesday night. Man, I'm going to be late Tuesday. That's going to be a weird thing, but we're going to try it. And if I'm not here, why, you come back the next week and bitch me out over it, because I know you've all been waiting and very patient. You want to see if you have a chance to be the 6th listener. And if you become the 6th listener, you'll have a say in everything that goes on here. Everything.
You become a host.
You can become a host if you're the 6th listener. In fact, if you become the 6th listener, you can even say, you know what, you guys should stop doing this. And we'll probably go, he makes a point.
No, we won't.
We won't do that.
I'll be like, man, shut up. Like, don't listen to him. He's an idiot. No, but one thing is we're going to look at bringing some people on the show. So if you have any ideas of who you'd like to see a guest on our show, let us know that as well.
And remember that Ace has long-reaching tentacles in the wrestling industry. And can get almost anybody who is indie or lower on the air with us.
Okay, better shot at that one. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. So yeah, definitely. We any indie talent, any indie talent. If you're watching.
And if you happen to be watching and you're indie talent, drop us a line. We'd love to have you on. We want to talk about what you're doing. We end up talking about and reviewing these shows. That's not necessarily what we want to do. We're filling some time.
No, and we if we have something else going on as far as like a guest or something, we will do the show around that. So
absolutely,
definitely we can do it all. I mean, we're professional broadcasters. Man.
I mean, I'll tell you what, Chris Jericho has rejected us for 17 weeks in a row. And you know what? It doesn't mean we're not going to stop trying.
No, we're definitely on his list.
Yeah, we're on his list.
Definitely though. Like we'll reach out to some people, work on getting some guests on there. So, and then I don't know, you get your dates out there, bro.
Oh yeah. Ooh, my dates?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I have dates, but like, I gotta be honest with you. Yeah, let's see. I mean, they're not like anything. Oh my! I watched you from Twitch, and
Never know.
Where are your shows? Bay Mills, Michigan, to the Bay Mills Casino in Brimley, Michigan on Friday. Prairie du Chien Country Club, Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin on Saturday, March the 7th. The American Legion or something, or the City Hall or something in Lyle, Minnesota. Or yeah, you come down Loose Gum and you can fight him.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he is actually.
Okay.
March 13th, my 12th and 13th. I don't think I'm doing anything, so maybe I can come and help you move on the 12th and 13th. Or not you, Ace. I mean, you're in a nice spot. I mean, somebody that's listening might need help moving.
I was gonna say I didn't know I was moving. Yeah, man. I can tell you guys now. This is the man that was responsible for me ever getting on a comedy stage, and I still don't think I was that great at it, but it was fun.
You had two good jokes.
And I had two good jokes. Well, you probably helped me write one.
Two good jokes is a gold mine, baby.
Hey, I had fun. But very, very talented comedian. So make sure you guys check him out on the road. I know he doesn't like giving his dates out, but I'm going to make him do it. So check him out. But the other trade-off too is I feel bad if I just sit here and talk about my stuff too. So put your dates out, bro. Keep watching. This week we do have a new Briscoe and Big Ace show coming.
Nice.
Probably Thursday, Friday we'll go live on YouTube. So make sure you check that out. It was just Wes's birthday. Wow. Just had a big show with Atomic Wrestling down in Florida, like kind of his home base promotion. That he's actually champ right now for them. Just worked Shane Douglas. Oh. Yeah, I mean, they bring in a lot of cool people too, man. Like Sandman was there, a bunch of big names. The Pope was there. They're bringing in Crime Time in on shows regularly. Leva Bates. Me and Wes have a really cool interview with Leva Bates from her days in Atomic before AEW. But yeah, so check that out. And then, again, we got some cool stuff coming down the line. Waterloo, Iowa. We'll be doing a live podcast out there for the Hall of Fame weekend, July 24th through the 6th, I believe, is the date. Working on our guest right now. Once that's confirmed, we'll announce that. But big names, man. Big names this year. Possibly big names on the show. Hopefully you're going to be down there with us that weekend as well. So we'll try to do some cool stuff for the Masked Comedian X-Cast live from Waterloo, Iowa, and the George Tracus and Lou Thez Hall of Fame weekend. So that's cool, man. Like a lot of cool things going on. Very, very excited. And then my boys, the Station A Astronauts, the Astro Network, another YouTube channel. Check it out.
Oh, yeah.
I'll probably be popping up on it eventually here someday. But yeah, our good friend of ours, Nick Mack, which funny to say that one of this whole thing that he's got going on that started, it's snowballing pretty big right now. And Masked Comedian was actually on one of the very, very earliest Stationary Astronaut episodes. That to this day has been unaired, but we might be bringing them out actually. We've been talking about it. So, but yeah, check that out. Astro channel just launched. Nerd D is like the first thing that popped up on there. Check it out. We should almost play it next week. It's called The Man. He's a rapper, but he's a wrestling fan. It's called The Man. The chorus is "I'm the man." Becky Lynch, "I'm the man." It's a cool song, so check it out. Yeah, that's what I got going on.
If you can get it, let's play it with his of course permission. Yeah.
Yeah,
he'll give us permission. Nick's a cool cat.
Oh no, dude, I could do that right now.
Do you want to play it now or do you want to wait? Because I'm getting tired.
Yeah, we'll do it next week, but we'll play that video.
I'm getting tired.
Yeah, for sure.
This is a hot mask. I get it on a long time.
It's not stretched out all the way yet.
It's not. Well, it's never going to be stretched out all the way.
I know. You get that custom one.
It's like I need a custom one. Like I need a anyway. Point being, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for hanging out with us a little bit tonight. We'll see you again next week on the Mass Comedian Xcast. Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
Come on, man. What's cooking? It's not playing. Well, let me see. Yeah, that's nice. Nothing is playing. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, our
Try it again.
StreamYard. No, ain't doing nothing. Ain't doing squadoosh.
I see and hear it.
You see it and hear it?
Yeah.
I don't see it at all.